Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today, I actually get to announce to you all that I'm taking a break. I'm actually taking a little bit of a step back. Now, that doesn't mean that you'll actually see a major change here on the channel. But on my end, I think it's always fair to communicate and let you all know what I'm up to. I've been running Quackalope for the past 3.5 years now. Over the course of that time period, we've produced over 1,100 videos. It's an insane amount. That is an average of about a video a day, maybe a little bit less. Over that time period, we've also weathered the storm of COVID. We've transitioned 5 different times, moved from a friend's apartment in Washington, D.C. to my own apartment, single bedroom, where the studio was in the bedroom in Washington, D.C. To when the pandemic hit, we moved down to Kentucky, sleeping in the same place that I filmed once again, living with my parents through most of 2020. Moved to Maryland with Jan, and then transitioned up here to Cleveland, where we now are with Shira. And that's been a lot. And in the process of growing this channel, we've put in 60 or 70 or 80-hour weeks. We've traveled halfway, if not the entire way across the country, going to multiple conventions, going to Comic-Con this last year, and Gen Con, and PAX Unplugged, and Shira just got back from the World Series of Board Gaming, and it has just been absolutely nonstop for all of us. And that's good, but it's also exhausting. And so I'm taking some time off. We've been working really hard this month to get a little bit ahead on our schedule. And this is something that a lot of you say that I need to do and advise that I need to do. And so I feel like it's kind of my obligation to communicate and let you all know the state of things and where we are and what we're working on and what we're excited about, and also that we're trying to do what we can do to prevent me from burning out. I've burnt out probably a dozen times over the last 3 years. And not in the I'm shut down and completely exhausted, but absolutely in the my legs got knocked out from under me and I have been so exhausted and so tired and so drained, whether it is physically from pulling multiple all-nighters to get videos and projects done, whether it has been emotionally from conflict on the internet as you slowly express yourself and expose yourself to a larger number of people, or personal conflict within relationships and families and friends, because none of that stops. And throughout 2020, all of that was heightened to another degree, and I think we're still figuring out and we're still weathering the storm of what that means and what that looks like for us. And so a lot of people have seen that. A lot of people have seen me shut down for multiple days. A lot of people have seen me come on here and make videos where I just seem burnt. And they're not wrong, and I've never said that they're wrong. But what I have said is that I'm always willing to get back up, that I'm always willing to continue working and continue pushing forward and continue trying to build this community and this channel and continue trying to invest and do what I love. And the reality is, I love what this is. I love our community. I love spamming people with ducks. I love building the board game hobby space. I love introducing and giving and sharing as much as I can with as many people as I can. I feel like we've had a positive impact on this hobby. And despite what 3% of the trolls on the internet say, I feel like we belong and like we've found a community of people where we connect through whatever weird intricacies have led us here to this board game hobby space. I'm proud of what we've built. I'm insanely proud of what we've done over the last 3.5 years. The videos we've put out, the audience and community we've raised. We crossed 8 million total views on this channel. We average, at the moment, something like 350,000 views a month. That's so cool. And my goal from the very beginning was 5 years. That was the mark. That was if you survive for 5 years, if you can do this for 5 years, then it doesn't matter what else has happened around the outside of it, you've succeeded. So we're still a year and a half away from that. And I'm going to be honest. The more we do, the bigger it gets, the more things we try to say no to, and the more things we accept upon our plate, the higher we try to increase our production quality, the more people we add to our team, the more projects we're working on, the more channels we have, the more areas we're responsible to communicate in, the harder and more exhausting and more trying this is. And the easier it is to disappoint people along the way and let people down along the way, because you always kind of have to be on. When you're online, when you're making videos, when you're talking with people, when you're trying to build and communicate, there's a part of you that just always has to be the best representative of you possible, and that's not always possible. Sometimes you're distracted, sometimes you're tired, sometimes it's 3 a.m. when you're filming a video that's due in the morning, sometimes you've only played the game 17 times, and yet the people on the other end don't get or connect or see that you know what you're talking about. Sometimes you've only played the game once and you come off like an insane authority on it. Marvel United? Never even played it. It's a lie. You can see that here on the channel. So it's hard to be on. It's hard to be on constantly. And that accumulates and gets even more difficult when you let people down. When you produce things or put out videos, hold a box upside down, make rules mistakes, say the wrong name of a game, when you're late for a project or can't get things consistent enough, when you're bad at communication, when a message that you're trying to deliver to the audience doesn't seem to go through, when you when you lean too far into clickbait and the audience tells you that you're a moron, those moments suck. And all of that sort of adds together and piles on and makes it hard. And I think I have an awesome job. But I think I am also tired. So I'm really excited to be announcing, to be saying that for the next 9-10 days, Quackalope's going to be entirely offline. West is going to be running the show, responding to comments, double-checking emails, and we have videos scheduled through the entire process. So you're not going to be missing anything. We have content ready. But I am turning off my cell phone, and I am handing Shira my computer, and we're going to focus on trying to not be online for a bit. Because I'm tired. Because it's been a lot, and the last few months have added to that quite a bit. And I'd like to be able to continue doing this. I'd like to continue building this community. I'd like to continue covering and talking about board games and sharing all this cool stuff with you all. I'd like to be able to identify and do the stuff I love and not be resentful or embittered or tired because of the stuff that I don't, because of the stuff that wears me out. For those of you who don't know, the next 9 days, we didn't choose them randomly out of a hat. There's actually a Jewish holiday coming up called Sukkot. You build a little hut in your backyard and wave some palm branches around, and you're supposed to study out there and eat out there and potentially sleep out there, considering the Cleveland weather doesn't ruin it for us. And that's my plan, to focus on faith and to focus on studying and to focus on reading some good books, maybe make it through book 3 of the Stormlight Archives, and to focus on doing some things for fun. I have a whole list of games that I just want to play. Shira and I are planning on doing a full day of Kingdom Death, something that we haven't been able to have time for 4 or 5 months, which is a shame because it's my favorite game of all time and her number 2. So where are our priorities if we're not making time for that part of the hobby, the part of the hobby that is just playing games, that is just fun, that is the whole reason why you all are here. I made a list the other day of all the stuff I love about this, all the stuff I hate about this, and all the stuff that I avoid doing. We're trying to figure out how to hand some of those tasks off to the team, how to rely on people around me a little bit more, and how to refocus and re-identify what it is about this channel, what it is about this community, what it is about this hobby that brought me here, that invested me enough to spend the first 2 years producing content with little to no return outside of some degree of subscriber growth. What has convinced me that working, every day for the past 3.5 years, trying to do the best I can by you all, is worth it. I found board games because I didn't have a community. I found board games because I wanted to be able to sit down at a table, and I wanted to be able to share experiences and meet people and join them around this hobby space. That's what this hobby space is for me. It's Labyrinth Games and Puzzles. It's sitting down across the table from a friend of mine who I still chat with, a friend who bought a house in the last year, a friend who has some major life-changing things happening soon. And I told him about this little channel that I wanted to start. And I remember him being so skeptical, because who is this kid that he doesn't even know, walking in talking about Quackalopes and board game channels and what people like, and thinking that he could produce something that other people would care about. And we have. And that's really cool. So, I'm disconnecting from social media. I'm turning off my freaking electronics because they're exhausting. And because I don't actually think social media or the internet is a very positive place for people. I think it's an incredible place. I think it disseminates knowledge. I think it allows us to build communities. It allows me to have this amazing career. But I don't think it's always good. I think oftentimes it challenges your own mental health. I think it is exhausting to be always connected with people. I think it's distracting. It encourages procrastination. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something without actually putting in a lot of the hard work. And so, we're going to disconnect. We're going to read some books. We're going to play some games. We're going to sleep a little bit. Shira and I are trying to go on an 80-mile bike ride. We're going to do stuff that isn't this for just a moment. And then West is coming back up on the 18th or 19th of October when we come back online, and we're going to be diving headfirst back into this, back into content. And hopefully, the intention, as we grow our team, as we continue building what Quackalope is, the intention is to continue trying to lean into the stuff that we've always leaned into. I had a lot of comments from people that were saying, you seem tired, you seem worn out. Remember to focus on what made this channel great and what still makes this channel great. That it feels like we're a community of people sitting down across from you, and that we're just here to play games. And that's what we want to do. It's the whole point. It's always been the point. And it's what we're trying to figure out how to rope down. So, that's the video. That's it. Just wanted to let you all know that's what we're doing. And because I don't like taking a break, I figured I would, do something fun along the ways. You all are going to have the opportunity to win all of these CMON games around me in a massive giveaway that I'm going to run while I'm offline so that I know the channel is working for me and continuing to grow. So, if you're interested in Marvel United, X-Men, Arcadia Quest, Cthulhu Death May Die, Marvel Zombies, and not this version of Marvel Zombies, CMON's Mayhem, Scooby-Doo, The Board Game, Rising Sun, Magamoria, I mean, you might want to pay attention for that video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for understanding and caring and continuing to invest in us. We are going to continue investing in you. And with that, I'm going to turn off for a little bit. I'll see you soon.